Many thanks for staying here on Newsdesk. To some more stories now. And the Judicial Council has sacked 19 judicial service workers, including court registrars and interpreters, found to have been complicit in the judicial corruption scandal. The affected staff are said to have taken bribes of various sums to help influence the outcomes of cases at the courts. Joining us is Raymond Akwa, joins me now in studio with more on a statement by the Judicial Secretary Alex Opoko Echampon on this very issue. Raymond, many thanks for your time. Now, tell us what really the statement says, and do we know, for instance, the identities of these 19 persons?
So we can break it down to those who are dismissed and those who are actually removed from office. So the dismissal, there are 10 of them. And of course, this is in connection with the analysis investigations into some corruption at the judiciary, and the teams, 2 of them that were set up by the disciplinary committee under the very leadership of the Lady Chief Justice to investigate these issues. The first set of people were those who were dismissed. Eric Ayensu is a messenger at the Circuit Court in Cape Coast, and Daniel Opon, who works with the Circuit Court in Offensu as the court registrar. Alexander Atta is an assistant court registrar at the Circuit Court of Cape Coast 2, and John Adonu is an interpreter at the Circuit Court of Tema. Mr. Mensa Bene is an assistant registrar at, in Judicial as the court, registrar. And Frank Joe Dua is a court registrar at BBNE. Daniel Tozoro is also a registrar at the Tema Court, that's the Circuit Court. And Frank Joe Dua, another one in Aflao, is actually a senior interpreter. There are 2 more, Kweku Sapon, who is a day watchman at Jobin in the Ashanti region, and Frank Amedume is a senior interpreter also at Aplaho at the Circuit Court. So these people were dismissed clearly for what it says that they were consciously and willingly acting as conduits between representatives of Tiger Eye and the judges for the illegal demand of some and receiving of some amounts of money to influence judgment. So these people were the links between the judges and the Tiger Eye team who sought to influence the judges through these people. I
see. So the names you mentioned, these are the persons who have been dismissed.
There were others who were also removed from office.
Give us those details as well.
They were removed from office for holding, as the statement puts it, ex parte discussions with representatives of Tiger Eye. That means that they engaged the representatives of Tiger Eye without even the judge knowing, without the other side being there, so to, of course, influence the third judgments that are supposed to be true. And they were pretending to act for and on behalf of judges in this particular case. They are Juliana Ej. She's a messenger in Offensu at the Circuit Court. Esther Boatima is the principal court recorder at the Law Court Complex here in Accra. And Ezekiel Aibo is a Circuit Court registrar at the Teshi District Court. And there's also Thomas Odei Boafo, who is a principal interpreter at Asharman. Another one, Cynthia Kwe, is at the Kasua District Court as the court registrar, and Matthew Atu Guba is a senior usher at the High Court here in Accra. Gordon Amankuna is also a High Court registrar in Kasua at the District Court, and Isaac Jabba is a senior High Court registrar at the Circuit Court in Jabin in the Ashanti region. Abdullah Yahayedo is at the Offensu Ashanti Circuit Court as a High Court registrar. They were removed. They are apparently not people who really got in the major fray, but they acted as meeting one side of the case. Tiger Eye members who were supposed to influence judges, but they did it without the other side knowing and also the judges knowing.
So does this, for instance, bring an end to this whole issue?
No, the numbers you're talking about here is less than the 130 or so which the Tiger Eye team presented. And the statement made it clear that these are some of the people who've been reprimanded. But let's be clear, there are others who are giving specific sanctions, are just being reprimanded for saying thank you. They receive what they call thank you gifts from Tiger Eye. So we believe that you've done something for us. Take this. And they took it. So Cecilia J, who's a court recorder at Kwabane in the Ashanti region, and
she's been dismissed for receiving.
No, she's not been dismissed. She's been reprimanded.
She has been reprimanded.
It's a notice of what they call query to tell you officially that your conduct was not the best of standards. If you do it again, you will be given higher sanctions. So it's a sanction, but it's of a lower order. What it says here is also that Samuel Dogu of the Usher High Court in Accra, Francis Nkansa of the High Court in Impraeso, and Abigail Osra Agbo, an interpreter at the Second Court here in Accra. Grace Jadu is with the High Court of Kwabin, and they are all people who were just reprimanded because in this case they received thank you gifts without going through the right process from representatives of Tiger IPI. Others were exonerated of any wrongdoing because the Tiger I team evidence submitted could not prove that they did what they say they did. And these are Michael Thexin. He's a district court registrar at Sumenya District Court, and Irene Minta Jacobs. And he is actually, she is actually a district court registrar too at the Akais unit here in Accra. And Evans Aban, an assistant court registrar at Insawam at the district court. So those people were found to have not done anything wrong at all, so they were let go. There's a final batch, I mean, of course, in the same statement, but that's unrelated to the scandal on judicial corruption.
Okay.
But the judicial service is also holding some people accountable for their acts, which is not related to this one, but it's also misconduct in the service. For example, his worship M.E. Esando, a circuit court judge in Accra, has been suspended for 3 months. The other one is Kwame Ohemen Mensah, a district magistrate in charge of the family and juvenile court here in Accra, has also been suspended for 3 months. And this is misconduct, not necessarily rising to the level that he should be removed from office. The other stuff we're also talking about have also been removed from office for misconduct. This is, again, not related to a Tiger Eye issue. They are Leonard Yao Agbobli of the High Court, and he's actually a High Court registrar in KJB. For his case, he illegally accepted money from a defendant in the case pending before the court. So he's been removed from office.
Okay.
And the last one is Andras K. Akpabli, who is a court registrar at the Commercial Court in Cape Coast. He made irregular and late payments of court collections to the bank in violation of the financial administration regulations and directives of the Judicial Service. He has also been removed from office.
Right. Raymond Akwa, many thanks for that update. And that was my colleague Raymond Akwa here with a lot more on the sack of some 19 Judicial Service staff over misconduct. Apparently, they played a significant role in that particular issue there as pertains to the judicial corruption. But let's move on now and do some more stories. And former head of Ghana's Human Rights Commission Justice Emil Short has labeled as exaggerated claims by the Deputy Attorney General that the International Criminal Court may be biased against Africa. The Deputy AG, Dominic Kaine, speaking at the first International Forum on the ICC at Gimpa here in Accra, in the presence of the ICC Chief Prosecutor, highlighted the perception that the court simply targets African leaders. Now, despite having received almost 9,000 complaints about alleged crimes in at least 139 countries, the ICC has indicated has indicted 36 black Africans in 8 countries. Speaking to Joy News, however, former head of SHRA Justice Emil Short says the claims of bias are not properly grounded. Let's bring you a lot more stories now, but that will be after we take this break here on News Desk. But it will be challenging, but exciting, tough, but satisfying, and it's the trip to the highest point in Ghana. I'll be bringing that to you after this break.